Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down, it's going down, it's going down. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I missed that applause, you know? They did not clap for me in England like that. And so I missed that daily applause. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Welcome to the Force of Friendship. We got issues. We are here at 9:10 a.m., the Superstation. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to talk about it all, y'all, today. We're going to bring you the happenings from the UK. We're going to talk about the church ladies been cutting up. I heard the church ladies just been off the chain since I was gone. See, that's what happens when you don't have nobody watching church ladies. They just get beside themselves. So I heard that y'all had some lively conversation. And it's so good to be back, but I will tell you, it was really great to just take some time completely off and rejuvenate, relax, be rested and ready to go. And so I see Katrina. We're all color coordinated, black and white. See, y'all, we in sync. You don't even know we in sync. We didn't say it. For those of us on camera, on Facebook Live, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on a lot of different ways. Katrina, how else can they find us?
Go to theforceoffriendship.com, click on the We Got Issues tab, and everything is right there.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, your girls are all in attendance. Yes, 100% attendance. That is a blessing indeed. A blessing indeed. Well, you guys, when you go across the pond, that is a little bit of a hike, but well worth it. It's been really good. We'll talk about that. What have you guys been up to? I know Gloria's on her way out of the country. Katrina's husband is out of the country. So how's everybody been doing? I missed you guys. I really, really did. I did miss you, but I did enjoy the time off. I love y'all. It was good. It was a good little break. It was a good little break. Katrina, what's happening?
Oh boy, it is it's a lot going on. I just continue to request prayer for Anthony, for real. When he's back in the States, I'll share more. Okay, when my prized possession is back in the States. But I tell you, it was some cries, it was some tears flowing last night. Just it's a lot, you guys, going into a third world country, and it's just a lot. So we solicit your prayers. Things are going well. So many rich blessings. And I'll be able to talk more about that later. I know you're going to visit with all the girlfriends, and there's this one thing in the news that really jumped out, if we have time to share that. But I'm doing good, and we are so happy that you are back. And you know, I went to a sorority event this weekend. I didn't really get to talk about that. And I have a powerful speaker who's coming on the show. She is an educator. And she was talking about all the issues in education. And she said, and what's the name of your show? I said, We Got Issues. She fell out. She was like, for real? She was like, oh yeah, I'm going to come on there. I'm going to be funny, but I'm going to be real. I mean, she is a principal. And when I tell you, she is hilarious. Some of the stories she has about how challenging it is to captivate children today, how they just look at you like, what, you want me to pay attention to you? I mean, she's like, a building was on fire. And she was like, y'all have got to come. She said it got to the point that she had to talk to him like it was your grandma across the street. Boy, if you don't get up out of here. I mean, she's like, they were not paying attention. Like, how much fire do you have to see to come in. I mean, she just was hilarious. So she's going to come in, but she could not believe she's going to be watching the show, paying attention. So when I told her it was called We Got Issues, she's like, I need to tune in. Tell me how to tune in tomorrow. So we talk about it all right here. And we got issues still, but we're glad to have you back. Sabrina.
Thank you, Chris. Excellent. Glad to be back. Hey, Chrisette, how are you, friend?
I am doing well. Welcome back to the United States of America. Glad you and Kenny made it back safe and sound. Can't wait to hear about your wonderful time away. And you know what? The clock was ticking, Sabrina. The clock was ticking. You had probably about 2 more days before your seat got filled. I'm just, the other girlfriends ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna be the real one. You had about 2 more days, and trust me, we got people that want to fill the seats. Got to fill the seats, so y'all know we get about. So Gloria's getting ready to leave on Thursday. Gloria, I don't know. You're gonna be gone a long time. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, Gloria. Hopefully.
Out of sight, out of mind. Better not be.
And you know what? You start to feel it too. You start to get the cold shoulder. They stop chatting with you. They stop including you in on conversations. So
you ended up on that other text. You ended up in that other text group.
That's right. But yeah, it's a beautiful day here in the D for real. And just so excited about this conversation. But you're right, Sabrina. Friday, Katrina set it off, talking about church girl. And when I tell you the lines were lit up, I mean, it was just Katrina and I. And then I told Katrina afterwards, I said, let's be clear. I'm milking that train. We're going to have that on Monday. And it was so hot yesterday. I told Gloria, we're going to do that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Because when I tell you, Gloria said, church ladies got issues. We got a lot of issues. So, welcome back, Sabrina. We're so glad to have you back.
Yes. You know I missed that conversation because I have a whole lot to say about them church folk. Whole lot to say about y'all. But anyway, Lord. There will be another episode. They tried to have it when I wasn't on because you know I have a lot to say. But anyway, anyway, Gloria, how are
y'all,
you,
look
my
how
friend?
red, Chris, your hair.
30.
I'm looking at Chris's hair. You know we just see each other on here. Your hair is like extra red. It's beautiful. You got extra color.
Yeah, right. It's a little ponytail in the back. It's time for a change. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's time for a change for real.
Well, you know, we can't
wait. The color is
beautiful. Girl.
The color is beautiful.
Sabrina, we missed you. We sure missed you up in his camp. I was feeling for you and I was fighting for you. It's okay if you take a vacay. It's okay if you take I was fighting for you to set myself up. We know you going to girl, you know, both of us were not on there when they talked about the church girls. So, you know, I was feeling it too. I was like, we go into conversation. But when I tell you I can have that conversation some more because they were in the chat talking about they still wear stockings every day and got girdles on. And I was like, oh my goodness, we got a lot to talk about here. But here in Baltimore, it's sunny, it's beautiful. I've been talking about packing. Tomorrow's show is going to be talking about packing. About getting ready to get out of town. I still don't know how I'm gonna do it. I still don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited to have you back. I'm excited about all the things that are going on. I cannot wait to hear about the principal talking to us about how funny it is when the kids don't want to run from the fire. Let me tell you something for sure. All day long, I talked to everybody I talked to. I said, did you know they have U-Hauls in California? We're gonna get my girlfriend out of California. California. Every day we're on the show. She talking about something going on in California.
You need to send one to Dallas. All the rain. Are you kidding me?
All the rain. Yes. I mean, y'all need to move. I don't know where you got to go, but for real, y'all need to. And then I talked to another girlfriend. She lived in San Diego. She just moved to Puerto Rico because of the taxes. She said 4% taxes in Puerto Rico, 50% taxes in California on her income.
What?
50% versus 4%. I said, there goes that U-Haul truck once again.
Okay.
Coming to get it. I swear that thing was funny. But I'm excited about today. I'm excited to hear about the UK. I'm excited that we watched you. Even though you took some time off, we watched you on your social media. It was on and popping. Even Kenny was on Sabrina's live. Sabrina was on Kenny's live. That thing, they were getting run over by trucks. We're glad you made it home safe. We were a little bit concerned. Focused on the camera and not focused on the street. But it was good. It was really good.
Exactly. You know, Gloria doesn't miss. I mean, I don't know when she sleeps because you can go live at 2:00 in the morning, U.S. time, and it'll be, you know, another time in the UK, and she got you. It can be midnight in the U.S. and she's on it. I'm like, do you ever sleep? And
I packed. That's all I've been doing is packing.
Social media.
OMG.
They say that sleeping is overrated. That you know, sleeping is the next thing to what? Dead. So Glory believes that. Okay, so Dorothy says her family lives in Fort Worth. Streams drainage has not been fixed. The whole house would have been flooded if it wasn't fixed last month.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, power outages. Yeah, when I tell you we unplugged from, I didn't know anything. I mean, I heard that there was, like, at my alma mater, Tennessee State, there was a tragic car accident. 5 students, first week of school. 5 kids in a fatal car accident. 1 or 2 people died. 3 critically injured. There was, I was talking to our friend Bridget Shaw at her son's school this weekend, a shooting on campus. 1 kid dead. Yes. And so we're just asking for coveted prayers for our young people as they go back on these college campuses.
Right.
We ask God to cover them like never before, because we know that when we release them to the world, you can't sit on top of them. We ask God to protect them and be with them. So lots going on. I will tell you, I didn't watch any news when I was there. Kenny would sneak and get it on his iPad, and I'd wake up at 3:00 in the morning. He's over there watching his iPad, his CNN. He got
you watching on YouTube TV or something else?
Direct TV. I told him, when we move, we doing directly against direct, okay? But anyway, he has to have it. Oh my goodness, you guys. What were you going to say, Katrina?
I was just going to tell you this one thing, because this is huge and it didn't hit the news. This was like, I just happened to catch it. Leo Leonard, okay, he is called the Supreme Court Whisperer. He is the one who has been impacting the conservatives that have been appointed to the Supreme Court. There was a $1.6 billion, the largest political donation has been made that's ever been made. $1.6 billion. This 90-year-old named Barry Stein gave an unprecedented amount of cash. He gave all the stock to his company. His company is based out of Chicago, and they sold the company. The company is worth $1.6 billion. And all of that money was given to this trust that's called the Marble Freedom Trust. It's the Federalist Society. Basically, it's a lobbying group that lobbies for conservative issues. It's the largest amount of cash that's ever been given away. And they said it's the largest anonymous dark money donation. He didn't even have to, he had to pay no taxes on it. And he didn't even have to divulge his name. They found his name on the tax paperwork. There's no names, but some kind of way they found the name. And the entire company was sold and given to this political organization tax-free. And their sole purpose is the conservative agenda. And it's deep. I started looking into it, and it's like they said that money can make a difference for decades. The impact, decades.
1.6 billion, absolutely.
1.6 billion,
and they wiped out a lot of people's political campaigns, TV ads. That stuff changes people's minds quickly.
They came back and said, but now we can compete with the George Soroses of the world and other people. And they said, you know what? There's nothing. What George Soros and other people have given on the Democratic side it pales in comparison to this one.
Wow. So unbelievable.
I was like, what? That's deep. Everything can be bought in America. Everything.
That's true.
What kind of Oh, there's the music. Where did he get his money from, Katrina? Do you know what's his background?
I don't know. This particular company, I wanted to see what the company is, but it's a company called Trip Light out of Chicago. And so the money, but I don't know where it came from originally, like how it, that part I didn't know. So.
All right, it's going down. Thanks for that information. We'll look it up, research it. Stay woke, people, stay woke. We got a high hill to climb. Election season's coming up. Get out there and vote, vote, vote. Get your relatives signed up to vote. I mean, voter registration should be on everybody's mind. We'll be right back. We got issues with the girlfriends. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Yes, yes, yes. We're back with Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria, 100% present today. And that is a blessing all by itself. We're the force of friendship. 30 years of friendship. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Probably 80 years of marriage amongst us minimally. And so that deserves a round of applause. We have a lot to say about friendship, about life, about marriage. Yes, 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 about business, education. We talk about it all, y'all. So if you're a first-time caller, first-time viewer, we welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome you. We've been doing this show about a year and a half, and we're always looking for special guests. We're always looking for topics, and we want to make our community better. That's why we're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. And so today, we're talking travel. I just got back from the UK. spending 8 days there of rest and relaxation. My husband was invited over for Wrestling with Humanity. There's a group, a nonprofit group, who invited us over, and they do so much good for the community, for underserved communities, through wrestling. They teach people how to rebuild their lives if they have medical situations. This guy Saeed, he's Iranian, and he lives in England, and so he's bringing the U.S. Wrestling community and the Iranian wrestling community together via England. It's a really interesting partnership. And if wrestling is just huge in Iran, and Kenny is really, really famous in Iran because that's what some of the best wrestling
Really?
is. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. They have the greatest fans. They're really big in the sport there. And so this guy, this is our first time meeting him. Kenny and him have been forging a relationship the last year and a half during COVID through Zoom. And so Kenny said, I really like what you're doing. Yep, I'd like to be a part of it. And you guys, when I tell you the camp, the seminars that Kenny was a part of, these people came from all walks of life. But his main product is this man who had a coma and got sepsis in the hospital. Major infection.
He got what?
Both of sepsis, which is an infection of the blood. And he lost both of his legs while he was in the hospital. So he has to have artificial limbs. And through wrestling, his upper body has been built. He is now self-sufficient, independent, living on his own. And so that's just one of the projects, that this organization helps. And so we just had such an amazing time. We connected with so many amazing people. We ended up staying in Bristol, and he's based in Bristol. Have you guys ever been to Bristol? Bristol?
I don't think so. I've heard of it, but I don't think we've ever been there.
I've gone through it, but I think I've driven through there or been, but I've never. It doesn't stand out to me. But I remember
it's 2.5 hours from London. 2.5 hours from London. And so not until a couple of days before we left did I realize we weren't going to be staying in London. We were going to be staying in Bristol.
Of course.
And so I had to really do my research. But when I tell you the arts, the people, it's a college community, a woke community. They are very open-minded. You guys, they were in the news during the George Floyd during George Floyd march and protest. They were the main communities who had huge protesters in the streets. They brought a big monument down. They tore a monument down. Threw it in the river. Yeah. Yes.
In the river.
Yes. I learned a lot, met a lot of people, opened my mind, and we met the only African, well, he's British, but he's a man of color, only elected official of color in the entire country of UK.
No way.
He's the mayor of Bristol. That's how liberal this city is in England.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wait, Sabrina, the only political person of color in the UK.
In the country.
Now, there's something wrong with that. It's really something wrong with that.
There really is something wrong with that.
There's a lot of Africans and a lot of Caribbeans in the UK, so it's not like there's not plenty of qualified educated.
A lot of Africans.
That's right. I mean, the Black British, I just became very much intrigued after meeting him. He gave us a grand welcome to the city. It was really spectacular. But the Black British history you may not know about. And it talked about, these are the words of the founder of Black Curriculum, an organization which teaches Black British history in schools, and is campaigning for Education Secretary Gavin Williamson to make it compulsory. The death of George Floyd in America has inspired thousands of people in Britain to demand justice, marching through the streets of our biggest cities. Black Lives Matter protesters here insist that UK is not innocent, but some commentators have questioned whether racism exists in Britain and to what extent. Well, of course it exists. But again, they want to sweep it under the rug. They don't want to talk about it. They say, oh, it doesn't exist. But come on, the first man of color ever elected in the country right now, he's serving his second term. His name is Marvin Rees, R-E-E-E-S. So check this out, you guys. Some things that we might not know about Black history in Britain. Some might think the first Black people in Britain arrived from Britain's colonies, the countries in Africa, the Caribbean, and Asia that Britain ruled over in some cases for centuries after World War II. But it's not true. We know that Black people were in Britain since Roman times, and there are specific examples. Yes, but again, it's not talked about.
It's like in the USA.
Yeah.
People think that Black people were all enslaved people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There were Black folks here when they got here.
And Julius says that he's Caribbean. His mother's Jamaican. His father is, I think, from Ireland, possibly, or somewhere like that. Britain's first Black queen. She was a princess from Germany who became a British queen after marrying King George III. Many historians believe Queen Charlotte had African ancestry, but they didn't like to talk about it. Okay? It was after the fact that they said that, oh, she had some Caribbean blood running through her. It's been argued that despite coming from Germany, Queen Charlotte was descended from a Black branch of the Portuguese royal family. So the bottom line is, you guys, they came to Britain through the slave trades. That was one of the first places they landed. And you do know that even over there, they have issues, grand issues. But I do like now that they're open, they can protest, they are talking about it, because for years it wasn't talked about. So that was one of my highlights, is meeting the first elected man of color in England, the mayor, Marvin Rees. World War I and the race riots that followed. When we talked about Caribbean migration into England, we often think about Windrush generation, who arrived in Britain between 1948 and 1971. But Black people were actually brought over from Jamaica to fight in World War I. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Julia says most Black people are from the Caribbean and from Africa who are in England. So that was just some history, you guys. Other than that, I love the food. I love the flowers. I love going to Bath. Bath was fantastic. What were you going to say, Katrina?
I was gonna say, when you were talking about Black folk coming over to fight in World War I, that they are also, I know all of those countries have attempted to send some Black folk into Ukraine as well. And I watched this Ukrainian dude who said, "Oh, you gonna send me over there?" As if people will not know who I'm fighting for and will be first in line. I can't hide out. I cannot hide out and act like that I'm with, the Russians. It's like, no, that's okay. I'm good. Because there are many Africans, the stories of the Africans that were in Ukraine that have not been able to go. It's been all very interesting, but I was learning more about that last night. I know Gloria was going to say something too.
I was just going to ask Sabrina to tell us a little bit about this mayor. What did you get from him that he would be bold enough to go for an elected? What was there something specifically that inspired him to go someplace where no one else had gone?
Well, yeah, very smart, came over to the US, Yale educated, confidence up out the roof. So he, confidence, we talk about that a lot on this show. Okay, Rosemary's educating us. Queen Charlotte was Black. Prince William's daughter is named Charlotte. There's a picture of her in the palace. Okay, so wasn't yeah, that's right. But the mayor just very confident, and he said he knew it was time to stand up and take his rightful place. He knew he was qualified, and he's talked about the pushback. You can imagine being the first, but he's serving his second term, but you can imagine all of the controversy around him. He says that he gets pushback on every bill, everything that he brings up, every money he raises, every idea he has. There's always pushback, pushback, pushback. And over there, you can serve more than 2 terms. But he says, you know what? I'm good. He's ready to do something else. He is in his last year of his 2nd term.
Oh.
Hey,
Chris.
you know what, Sabrina? I know the music is coming, but I wonder if that show, Bridgerton, is based kind of on Princess Charlotte, because she is Black and she's married to the king. So I think it was kind of a play off of Queen Charlotte.
That'd be
There's
interesting.
an article in Washington Post about it.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, you guys, there's the music. We got to go pay some bills. We'll be right back with the Force of Friendship. We got issues here, there, all over the world. We'll be right back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Yes, yes, yes. Well, we were talking about Bridgerton before we left. We're talking all things UK. Just got back from spending a week there. It's fabulous. The fashion, the food, I really do love England. I love the fashion. Everything is prim and proper. Cup of tea. I love the accents. People are friendly. People tend to mind their own business. People, and in Bristol, like I said, I've never spent time in that city, but that is my new town. I mean, it's about 500,000 people there.
That's
people
big.
A thriving college community. The BBC Bristol is right there. And so
Sabrina, tell us Tell us, how was the weather? You know, every time we've gone to London, you can always expect rain. Always pack an umbrella when you go to London. So what was the weather like?
And I asked people, can you believe I was so excited? We got more sunshine than rain. So that was a good week, right? More sunshine than rain. And we had just missed a big heat wave, and they needed the rain because it's been very dry over in the UK, like record heat. And they don't have air conditioning over there. No, in the housing, no air. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how this is going to be. So I'm glad that it.
Wow.
Hotel?
Yeah, and actually we had a flat, which is an apartment for the week, which was beautiful. And Kenny was like, where's the air? Well, I said, baby, we're in London. You see that big old fan over there? Plug up that fan, okay?
And this is a real issue that we talked about, that belt. I mean, it's going to become a real issue around the world in the next decade. Wow. The number of people that don't have, in the Bay Area, Oakland, there are certain places where Dorothy is, there's no AC.
Boston,
and you know what?
Boston,
when we say decade, you really do it in the next 10 weeks because the heat isn't here now. It's here. Mm-hmm. It's not even a decade. It's coming now.
Yeah, and places that have never had air conditioning, it's going to be hard to exist without it. But because of global warming, y'all, it's real, and we know that climate is changing everywhere. Yes, Chris?
And I was just going to say, you know, they were talking about it probably last month about the heat wave that hit London and Europe. Yeah. And they were just saying how they do not have the infrastructure ready for air conditioning, for all of that. And the sad thing is you have a lot of people there that are older. And, you know, we know that when they have those warnings, they tell the elderly to be very careful, stay inside the house. But if inside your house is as hot as outside the house, that's a real issue. So it's going to be interesting because if the scientists are right, and I believe that they are, the weather is going to continue to do these crazy things, and it's only going to continue to get hotter, which means that they're going to have to spend millions, and I don't know, maybe it's $1 billion to restructure, you know, London and those areas in Europe that just do not have the infrastructure to manage these heat waves that we're getting.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to have to do something, you guys. They got to do something. It was, I don't know. Ask our viewers who's been to London or who's been to England of our viewing audience, our listening audience. We'd love to hear your stories. If you haven't, put it on your list. I think everybody needs to at least go once. It is an 8.5, 9-hour flight from the East Coast, pretty much, to London. So it's not a bad flight. It's bad if you're not used to flying that long, but it is.
Goes fast.
Oh my goodness, you guys! For the first time, I mean, let me tell you, I usually don't do movies, but I watched a couple of I watched a movie, 2 documentaries. I took a Spanish lesson, and I meditated.
What?
Okay, on the way back.
No, wow! You need to go out of town more often. Okay, Gloria, tell us she needs to go out of town more often.
I did. Well, the thing is, and so. I mean, this was all in that 8.5 hour because I wasn't tired. Usually I sleep on the plane going over. I'm so exhausted I sleep, but I wasn't sleepy coming back. And so I didn't sleep. And so I found many things to do. And so I just think everybody needs to definitely go to the UK for the experience. There's so much history, so much grandness. I mean, to see buildings in the 1700s that look so immaculate, that are still so stately, it just makes you feel royal when you walk around such grandness. What were you going to say, Katrina?
Sabrina, I was just going to say it's a great place for those that have never, if you don't have a passport, get one. But if your passport is not you know, if your passport is Jamaica, Mexico, which is a whole other conversation about all the places that Americans should not travel in Mexico right now. England is a great place to go. The flight is not outrageous. The time difference
Right.
is not crazy, so it's easier.
Right.
They speak English, so it's a great place to get your feet wet, and you can take a little bit of a bullet train and go into outside of England if you want to explore that. But it's a really great place, and the number one thing you realize when you get there is there ain't nothing old in America. Okay, when you get there, you're like,
Exactly.
we don't have. There ain't nothing old here.
Exactly.
I mean, when you see something, they're like, oh, that was the I don't know, 3rd century. You're like, okay.
And you know what else is interesting, Katrina, is when you travel to Europe and even in the fine hotels, you got to remember Europe. They love things that are older. They take care of them. In America, if it's old, we tear it down and we build something new and bigger and more massive. I mean, it was kind of eye-opening the first time I traveled to Europe and stayed in the hotels. And I was like, this is the hotel suite? It was so small because a suite in a hotel like that in America is like huge. And you got there like, are you sure you put us in the right room? Because everything is so compact.
Mm-hmm. Space is very different. You guys, a few facts. The food was fabulous. Fish and chips is a fan favorite. The best fish and chips there. We had lovely meals. We really did. The host family, they just really took us to the best places, treated us Bath, you guys, Bath is fabulous. If you've never been to Bath, you've got to go to Bath. Let me tell you just a few facts about the UK, though. England is a country in the UK. England, when they talk about the United Kingdom, but England is only one of 4 nations in the UK. England is cross of St. George on a white background. I mean, many people, they get confused because they're like, England, UK, what is it? Well, why do people say it? But it's a country in the UK. Did you know that when you jump somebody in line, like in the US, you might cut somebody in line. In the UK, it's illegal. You get a ticket if you jump in front of somebody in any line.
Wow.
Being rude
Don't
is
go to
legal.
New Jersey.
Okay, what a
Don't go to New
concept.
Jersey.
Yes. I mean, it's like
the whole
museum
state
lines,
get locked up.
that kind of thing. England fought the shortest war in history. Yeah, the war began at 9 a.m. on the 27th of August in 1896 when the 5 ships of the Royal Navy attacked Zanzibar's Royal Palace. The conflict lasted between 38 and 45 minutes until the white flag to surrender was raised. So the shortest war was in England. England is home to one of the weirdest sports, cheese rolling. Have you ever seen cheese rolling? Hopefully that never makes it to the Olympics. But they talked about it. I mean, we met so many cool people this trip, and they were telling us about cheese rolling. Kenny was like, what? Okay. England is mostly flat. Much of the land in England is flat, especially in the southern area. There are mountains to the north, but all mountains rise under 1,000 meters in elevation. England is the birthplace of many famous scientists. Did you guys know that the World Wide Web was created in England?
Really?
Yeah. The national dish, this is interesting, is an Indian food. The national dish in England is an Indian food. Yep. Even though England is famous for pudding, of course, and 5 meals, you guys, you asked about meals. I tell you, every dinner we went to was 4 to 5 hours. Kenny was like, these people could talk and they can eat, okay?
They relish, I mean, all of Europe relishes in social, it's connection. They take a holiday. It's a month. I mean, it's nothing to take a month off in the I'm sure people you were with, Sabrina, right? They talked about, where'd you go on holiday this summer? Because everybody does.
It's always holiday, yes. And so it always starts with the appetizer and it ends with a cup of tea. It always has dessert, so it is clearly 5 courses. And they take their time. And
I go nuts every night going to dinner for 4 to 5 hours talking to people. for 4 I would go
exhausted.
nuts.
I mean, Kenny and I were exhausted at the end of our dinner. When we go back to the room, we didn't say nothing to each other, okay? Nothing to each other.
There's nothing left to be said after 4 to 5 hours.
Exactly.
And check this out. It's many English pubs because there's a pub on every corner. English pubs everywhere. They're quite lively. But did you know it's illegal to get drunk in an English pub? They don't allow you to get drunk. They say British are famous for their pub culture. Pubs are the main hub of various local communities. They are a place to socialize and have a drink, but you are not allowed to get drunk there. It is illegal.
So I wonder if they cut you off after so many drinks, and maybe they know what the limit is. Because I mean, how do you identify that?
More watered
That's supposed
down.
to happen over here.
I wonder
but
if
it's
it's
not
more
illegal.
watered
No. It's not watered down. It's not watered down. The bartenders
How do you know?
They have to keep a tab. They told us that they keep a tab, and they have certain drinks where it's definitely a 2-drink limit. If it's very potent, they know not to give that customer more than 2. And in some bars, some drinks, you have to be 30 to have that drink. Can you believe that? Wow, that's crazy. Okay, there's the music, you guys. There's the music. We'll be right back. We're having fun talking about the UK and all of the play. We're back. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Oh my goodness, you guys. I know it seems like I'm doing an advertisement for Bristol and Bath, England. Like everybody should go there. But I just think it's just spectacular, so relaxing. Now, let me tell you about Bath. This city is famous around the world for its distinctive golden bath stone buildings. The Royal Crescent, an elegant row of 30 terraced houses laid out in grand sweeping descent. It's one of the most iconic architectural landmarks in the country and perfectly captures the beauty of the Georgian style. I mean, people from all over the world come for this. It's a spa city. And so the water, people come, they say it's the healing waters. They make such a difference for your health. And so I would love for the girlfriends to take our girlfriends. Wouldn't that be a great trip? To go to Bath, England, to the spa capital of the world. I mean, where these 1700s, these buildings have been there since the 1700s, and the water, they say there's something about these warm mineral waters that have healing powers. And so we met people they were from all over the world walking those streets, incredible shopping. And they say that everybody should at least visit Bath once in their life. It's breathtaking scenery, elegant Georgian architect, and buzzing food scene. Bath packs a punch when it comes to reasons to visit. Some people say it can be a trip of a lifetime. You guys, you could step back in history to Roman times. Lying in the heart of the city, you'll find the Roman baths. And so you just think about in the 17th century, people who walked those grounds and who were able to experience those waters. What were we going to say, Cacao?
Is that I have a story, because you cannot talk about England without talking about the Royals. So I have a Royal story. But is that where we rode the Orient Express into Bath, or was that someplace else? Because riding that Orient Express is an experience. That
was fabulous. It was elegant.
Oh my gosh,
it was incredible.
Yes, everything.
And maybe we did.
I think it was. I think we rode it into Bath, and the train is amazing. Bath is amazing.
We
Spending
did.
the day there was amazing, and just so memorable. I was probably 8-9 years old. You guys know my daddy. We didn't go to the Grand Canyon. We went to Japan and England and everywhere. So we were going to England, and I thought it was really crazy. One of the people we saw on the plane on the other side was someone my mom worked with. But then here we are. It's not England without the Royals. We are standing the changing of the guards, and I'm just in awe of the changing of the guards. And right next to us is Dionne Warwick. And it just was amazing to me that here she is, this big star in America, but she was just as enamored with the changing of the guard. She still was standing outside the Queen's Palace getting a shot,
Wow.
And so everyone is in awe of the Royals. It's just is an experience. It just is an experience to watch that, see that, and see the flag, which means the Queen is in. It's really
Did you guys
Wow.
Did you guys hear recently?
I asked the locals. You can't hear me,
Chris.
Oh, Chris. Okay.
I was saying, did you hear recently that the Royals, well, I'll say Kate and her family, they're moving from the main house to a smaller house because they want to be a little bit more normal. Okay, and that they'll still have access to all of the maids and the butlers and all of that. So I said, "Wow, it must be
smaller,
nice to
what
be
that sound like?
Normal, right? Exactly.
Downsizing from 75 bedrooms to 22.
Right.
Exactly. I asked a few people, because we set so many outdoor cafes and would always get into conversations with interesting people. And so we would ask, what are your thoughts about Meghan and Harry, Prince Harry? And they said, well, really, I know the U.S. it makes a big deal, but we let people live their life. But clearly, the younger generation, they support Meghan and Prince Harry, and the older generation, they want they want the royal palace. They want all of the rules to stay the same. They want old school hierarchy to reign supreme. And so they say there's a big gap between those who are for the younger royals who are coming up and those who want it to be just how it's always been. So I think that, did you guys see that Serena and Meghan are doing a podcast together? Serena Williams and Meghan are doing a podcast together.
Nice.
I did.
Yeah, they said
so
if you're ambitious, you should watch it.
They said what?
They said Serena said if you're ambitious, you definitely need to watch.
Really?
It. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, something just flashed
That was
across
very
my
interesting.
screen. I got to go back and read it, but I said, good for them. Good for them.
Right.
I know they're
Really
girls.
good for
They're
them.
very close. They're very close. Yeah, they're very close. And you know, I love the accents over there, right? I love the accents. I love the British accents. I love the terminology. You all right? That's hello. You all right?
What about did you wait in the queue, Sabrina?
I did. I waited in the queue for everything. I was always waiting my turn. I didn't jump the queue. No, no, no. The lube is the toilet. They call the lube the toilet. And so when we first got there, the guy who picked us up, he was like, we just got off a 12-hour flight from, our journey was horrendous. That's the part we loathed. American Airlines travel at your own risk. Especially international travel, y'all. It's
Wow.
bad. It's everything we've read about and seen. It's all of that and then some. But I don't want to spoil my uplifting show talking about that travel. Maybe tomorrow when we talk about travel and packing, I will unload because I've written every vice president, every president of American Airlines, and all they say is AA.com. Voice your concern to AA.com. I'm so through with them. But anyway, when the guy picked us up, and we got off the plane, and he said, do you need to go to the lube? And Kenny looked at me like, lube? What is he talking about? And then we figured it out after he went to the restroom. Kenny's like, I didn't know if we had to get on another train or what we had to do. So it's important to get the vernacular down before you travel to these countries. Well, Gloria, that's the UK. You were on your way to Southeast Asia, I believe, where there's a 13, 14-hour time difference. We're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow.
Right.
But what are you thinking? I mean, you've traveled the world, so how are you feeling about this trip?
I'm anxious and excited. Really, I'm anxious and excited. I'm really excited to show a lot of people what we all don't see. You know, I remember when we went to China, it was so different. It was an interesting show talking about China. I mean, talk about the UK because the culture of the UK, and now we can talk about the culture of Asia. And you know, I'm just very interested to see how I respond to what's dishes they put in front of us, and is it still moving or not moving? It's just going to be a very interesting situation, all about the packing and how to pack so I can handle that time. But it is going to be a lot of airlines, but I think it's worth it. I'm not even concerned about the hours that we're in the plane because I'm more excited about the destination that we're going to see and how it's going to change me and Ken because of what we see.
Excellent. Well, they say to change the world, you got to see the world. And we are certainly doing that one way or another. Well, you guys, you've been a great audience. I feel so blessed to be back in front of you with my girlfriends. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thanks for joining us.